When you download the iHeartRadio app and put the WD and Shook Show on your list of stations, you will prove to the world that you're a little bit smarter than everyone else. The WD and Shook Show, your connection to the signs of the times.
Now, you have a source for the truth in the news. W. Dean Shook, End Time News. Your connection to the signs of the times.
And welcome to this edition of End Time News. I'm your host, W. Dean Shook. And I know that people are getting tired of hearing about the illegal aliens crossing our border. But I have information that you have to hear. You have to know this. Please, listen up while I tell you this news that the mainstream media is never going to tell you. This is vital. First of all, from Breitbart News, the TSA is allowing illegals to fly without verifiable ID. This from the Border Patrol Union. Breitbart reports illegal aliens are being allowed to fly on commercial airliners without valid identification. According to the National Border Patrol Council, the aliens are getting released on their own recognizance, are being allowed to board and travel commercial airliners by simply showing their notice to appear forms. This, according to Hector Garza, who told Breitbart News Texas, this is not the Custom Border Patrol Protection or other federal agency renting or leasing an aircraft. These are the same planes the American public uses for domestic travel, says Garza. This just adds insult to injury. Not only are we releasing unknown illegal aliens onto American streets, but we're allowing them to travel commercially using paperwork that could easily be reproduced or manipulated on any home computer. The Notice to Appear form has no photo. Anyone can make one and manipulate one. They do not have any security features, no watermark, nothing. They're simply printed on standard copy paper based on the information that the illegal alien says is the truth. Spokesman Garza continued, "We do not know who these people are. We often have to solely rely on who they say they are, where they say they're from, and the history they say they have. We know nothing about most of them. ICE releases them into the American public. Now they're boarding aircraft at will with a simple paper document that anyone can easily alter or reproduce themselves. Here's something to keep in mind next time you board a plane." And here's a WND exclusive. The transfer of illegals to San Diego has been halted for now. Border Patrol security activists are celebrating an announcement by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection that flights carrying illegal aliens from Texas to San Diego County have been suspended. But they warn an outbreak of scabies among undocumented Central Americans already processed and released poses a health danger to their communities. Since last week, 3 flights carrying a total of 420 border crossers, mostly women and children, have arrived in the San Diego area. Most have been processed and released. A 4th, with 140 aliens, was scheduled for Thursday, but the flight was reportedly been canceled. Gabe Pachko, a Border Patrol agent in San Diego and a union spokesman, said agents are now going to rely on existing technology that allows agents to process immigrants in Texas using video equipment. This reported by the San Diego Union Tribune. 2 senior Border Patrol sources confirmed to WND that of those released, more than 100 have been diagnosed with scabies, and 5 Border Patrol agents have been infected due to their contact with the illegals. Multiple cases of fever have been documented among children, as well as several cases where children were coughing up blood. Tuberculosis is suspected in those cases. Also reported, but unconfirmed, were possible cases of the H1N1 virus. The temporary warehousing and subsequent release is creating an environment for incubating and spreading disease, warned Jeff Schwick of Secure Borders Coalition. They're just reinfesting them over and over, he told WND. They treat them and immediately put them in decontaminated cells, which is terrible. Also, bottles are not being sanitized. Blankets are being shared. It's bad. The people from the first 2 planes are long gone. They don't care at all. They're just releasing them. No relief in sight. Rumor is they'll be increasing the number of flights to San Diego. Now, WND is also reporting that illegals are bringing a deadly threat. That's right, TB. 75% of current illegal immigrants are coming from countries in Central America, South America, the Middle East, West Africa, China, India, Pakistan, and others far beyond Mexico, where multi-drug resistant tuberculosis, that's MDR-TB, is common and extremely widespread in children and adults. Extensively drug-resistant TB, XDR-TB, is an even more serious form of TB, accounting for about 10% of cases in these countries, particularly Central and South America and India. More illegal border crossers now flooding the U.S. border are carrying an invisible disease-causing co-traveler, which is this tuberculosis bacterium. Now, MDR-TB does not respond well to treatment, even with complicated and expensive medications that must be taken over a 2-year period and can cause severe drug reactions. The XDR-TB doesn't respond well even to the second-line drugs, therefore it's more likely to cause death. Tuberculosis, or consumption as it was called in the past, is a highly contagious disease that kills millions before being essentially eradicated in the U.S. TB was the 8th leading cause of death in children 1 to 4 years old. By the 1960s, with improved sanitation, medical care, and antibiotics, TB was drastically reduced. The last remaining TB hospital in the U.S. recently closed its doors. In Central and South America, where public health programs are limited and antibiotics are not widely available, TB is widespread. It's a debilitating and a deadly disease. Consider data from the World Health Organization that says TB is second only to HIV and AIDS as the largest killer worldwide due to a single infectious agent. In 2012 alone, 15% of the reported 8.6 million cases resulted in death. HIV and AIDS and TB are a lethal combination, each disease accelerating the progression of the other. People with AIDS or HIV who are exposed to TB are 30 times more likely to develop the disease, with a death rate of over 20%. That's 1 in 5. TB is the third largest cause of death for women ages 15 to 44 in low and middle income countries. All age groups are at risk. Though TB primarily affects young adults, about 80% of those crossing our southern border in this latest wave are in this group. Hardest hit are people with compromised immune systems, HIV, AIDS, cancer, and elderly patients. TB is spread when infected people cough or sneeze. People can inhale the bacteria-laden droplets in the air. In the crowded, hot, humid detention centers, conditions are perfect for the spread of TB, as well as Ebola, chickenpox, measles, mumps, whooping cough, scabies, and lice. Now remember, these folks are just showing a piece of paper to get on the planes and fly right next to you. Well, here's what Mexico and Guatemala is doing. They're fast-tracking delivery of illegals to the U.S. New York, Mexico, and Guatemala have reached an agreement that's intended to make it easier and safer for Central Americans, including unaccompanied minors, to enter the United States illegally. Now, even though this is largely unreported in the U.S. mainstream media, the two nations agreed on July 7th in a presidential-level meeting in Mexico to make it legal and safe for Central American immigrants, including unaccompanied minors, to cross Mexico's border with Guatemala and transit Mexico en route to the U.S. border at the Rio Grande. Thank you, Mexico. The agreement apparently does not recognize the results of such trips into the United States, as it remains illegal. But to facilitate the program, the Mexican government announced plans to issue a new regional visitor card that will provide documentation for the Central Americans to remain in Mexico as long as it takes to get to the United States. Under the auspice of Southern Border Program, The Mexican president and the Guatemalan president, in a meeting in Mexico, agreed to take 5 concrete steps to protect and safeguard the human rights of migrants who enter and transit Mexico so as to order international routes of passage in and through Mexico to increase and develop the security of the region. There are 5 steps in the Mexican, quote, Southern Border Program. You can find these 5 steps in the complete story at our website at wdeanshook.com. It's well worth a read. So let's move on to CNN, who's reporting that the CDC closes an anthrax flu lab after mishaps. After potentially serious back-to-back laboratory accidents, federal health officials announced Friday they had temporarily closed the flu and anthrax laboratories at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta and halted shipments of all infectious agents to the agency's highest security labs. The accidents and the CDC's emphatic response to them could have important consequences for the many laboratories that store high-risk agents and the few that, even more controversially, specialize in making them more dangerous for research purposes. If the CDC, which the agency's director Thomas Frieden called the reference laboratory of the world, had multiple accidents that could, in theory, have killed both staff members and people outside, there will undoubtedly be calls for stricter controls at other universities, military and private laboratories. 6 vials of smallpox discovered in a laboratory near Washington, D.C. on July 8th. In one episode last month, at least 62 CDC employees have been exposed to live anthrax bacteria after potentially infectious samples were sent to laboratories unequipped to handle them. Employees not wearing protective gear worked with bacteria that was supposed to have been killed, but may not have been. All were offered a vaccine and antibiotics, and the agency said it believed no one was in danger. They said, "We have a high degree of confidence that no one was exposed," said Dr. Thomas Frieden, the CDC director. And in a second accident disclosed Friday, a CDC lab accidentally contaminated a relatively benign flu sample with a dangerous H5N1 bird flu strain that's killed 386 people since 2003. Fortunately, a United States Agriculture Department laboratory realized that the strain was more dangerous than expected and altered the CDC. In addition to those mistakes, Dr. Frieden also announced Friday that 2 of 6 vials of smallpox recently found stored in a National Institute of Health laboratory since 1954 contained live virus capable of infecting people. And Matthew 24 verse 7 says there will be pestilence. How can people be so irresponsible? Well, let me tell you about a melting road at Yellowstone Park, America's supervolcano. Underground heat from the park's supervolcano combined with the warm summer sun have melted a section of road in Yellowstone National Park, forcing its temporary closure. The 3.3-mile-long Firehole Lake Drive is closed because the road is turned into a soupy mess. This, according to park spokesman Dan Hoddle. Yellowstone spans portions of Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. The road itself is off Grand Loop Road between Old Faithful and Madison Junction in the park's Lower Geyser Basin. It takes visitors past Great Fountain Geyser, White Dome Geyser, and Firehole Lake. The great heat that feeds the geyser softened the pavement too much to drive on. It basically turned the asphalt into soup, said Hoddle. It turned the gravel road into oatmeal. The road was closed Monday and will remain closed to drivers until workers can scrape off the damaged section and replace it. A recorded information line updates visitors, park officials also asking hikers to stay out of the area. Yellowstone sits on top of a cauldron of ancient supervolcano, and Hoddle said road problems caused by underground heat and shifting earth are common. We see this kind of thing quite a bit, he said. Well, you can get these full stories and more at the website at wdeanshook.com. You can email me at contact@wdeanshook.com. I'll see you on our next program. Thank you so much for being here, where I'll have more news the mainstream media refuses to tell us. I'll see you then. Thank you.
Do you think the media is biased? Maybe they're leaving something out, or there's something they're not telling you. Now, you have a source for the truth in the news. W. Dean Shook, End Time News. Your connection to the signs of the times.
You can get these full stories and more at WDeanShook.com. That's WDeanShook.com.